Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for coming back to the channel. Um, just wanted to bring something, more of things from my childhood back out for a little look at and a little review. Well, not a review, but just a little look over and um, a couple of things I found interesting about my old Star Wars lunchbox. One of this one in particular, this particular design. Well, let me try and get in here. I know the reflection of the thing is kind of on that, but yeah, this is my original one I had since I was 7, and it's been around. The interesting artwork on it. I'll get to the beginning, the front of this here. Again, I'm just kind of going around the thing, just to kind of give a view here. The classic Mos Eisley confrontation with the Sand Troopers depiction, which anybody who's into fan preservation films will know that Harmy's despecialized Star Wars editions he was using this particular shot for a lot of his stuff. Some photographed, or I should say, drawn over photograph elements of certain scenes in the movie and so forth. I forget what's up here. There's a little bit of the Death Star and the TIE fighters flying around. It even says thermos on there. Right there. What's underneath here? Oh yeah, the dewback shot, which never showed up in the movie. So another artist depiction and just some basic patent information on who made it. I think it was who made this. Thermos division of King Sealy thermoses. Yeah, okay, cool. It does open up. Now, this is not my original. Well, this is the original thermos, but not the original cap. I lost the cap and lost the insert. But had the thermos still. And it's interesting because, when you look at these things when you were a kid and you were being sent to school with this big, I washed it a while ago and years ago, and it's still clean, but it had that, it had that smell that your drinks over the years of being a kid leached into the plastic when the plastic was still kind of new and absorbing it. I don't think there is anything really that they knew of at the time about certain plastics, and so forth. Just leaching out into your drink while you're waiting for lunch. But we're all still kind of kicking, so it's not a big deal. These are all pretty good shape. I had to find another Star Wars thermos on eBay a couple years ago. But all I cared about was these. The thermos itself was just, this picture was almost gone, and I found it cheap. It was the only way I was able to find just the thermos, was buying just a cheap dinged up one. So that I could harvest the pops for my own spots. So yeah, the thermoses were kind of cool, in school, and they fit a moderate amount of drink. I mean, usually I don't remember most of what I was given, and it was probably apple juice, fruit punch, or Hawaiian punch at the time. And it fit just enough space in there for a nice sandwich, a little snack or a little bag of chips or something. And I wish I had one right now to show you, but the old Hunt's snack pack pudding cups. Always had a little Scottish guy on the front of it, I think. The flavors that most food manufacturers were using back then were, I'm sure, some of it was artificial. I mean, as far as chemically derived, but they had to have been using more real sources of flavoring for the food and or what they were putting in, because it's, I'm aware of how things have changed over the years, and my memory is still very vivid of how not just Hunt's, but Hunt's was the main one that it was the metal one. That's what it was. Hunt's snack packs had the metal can with a flip top lid. You popped off like they had back then, and that was the pudding. But man, the chocolate pudding tasted like chocolate, and the vanilla was a perfect vanilla, and the strawberry was, it was fake tasting, almost like cotton candy tasting, but it was definitely a good strawberry, flavoring, and that was the three flavors that everything had, strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. Wasn't a lot of other flavors floating around in the kids' snacks back then, but that's okay. Butterscotch, oh my God, their butterscotch pudding was fantastic. We never really had it that often because it wasn't, as my memory was, it wasn't in the store a lot. So maybe because everybody was buying it because it was so good. Now I think Hunt's still is out there, and they make them in their little plastic pudding cup things, and it's made by somebody else. But I think they're still called Hunt's snack packs, and they're Hunt's, like Hunt, Hunt's snack packs. And I've a number of years ago I just got a little 3-pack thing of them just to try them out, and they were awful. I mean, yeah, but it's like just you didn't even really relish eating it. I mean, it was just a couple big spoons and it's gone. It seemed, I remember it took longer to eat the food back then because you took a long time eating it because it tasted better. So bologna and cheese sandwiches or peanut butter and jelly sandwiches always. Here in Pennsylvania, we have what's called sweet Lebanon bologna or sweet bologna, which is close to Lancaster, the Amish and Dutch influence area, and so we would have those kind of things, but a lot of it's something local to us. It's now more widely available, but for a long time, up even till recent years, Tasty Cakes out of Philadelphia were only available in Pennsylvania. They didn't go anywhere. Middlesworth potato chips, same thing. They were not available outside of Pennsylvania for a long time. So that's what we got, and so I grew up on all that stuff, and it seemed to fulfill you, an active kid burning an awful lot of energy. One sandwich, one little bag of, if you think about it, it was just a handful of chips and a snack pack and a little drink. That was your lunch, and that's what sustained you until dinner time. So you eat lunch in school at noon? And you get home and it's dinner time at 5 or 6, if you lived in a normal family that got together at dinner. And you seem to kind of get by on that, right? I mean, I don't get it now. We're like eating all the time, and we shouldn't be. So that's another story. But I just wanted to kind of bring this out and take a look at it, just because it's cool and it's archaic piece of my history, and it's still. No, it's not shutting. There we go. There you go. And it's a cool Star Wars little collectible. guess you could call it a collectible. So I wanted to talk about this picture of the front there. I'm trying to get the screen glare from, it kind of works. So, what I'm looking at is the original artwork on this. Obviously, this was not in the film. If I turn them this way, that works kind of good. It was not in the film. It was obviously just a production setup of some kind. Obviously, the purple lasers from the TIE fighter. And there's little plumes of exhaust coming out of the cannons on the X-Wing, like it's, as well as its thrusters back here. So interesting little ideas they had, I suppose, for the things back then in a pre-production or just whatever they made it for. But your mind's eye is the way you remember things, and what I as a model builder and a painter and a helmet painter and Star Wars Star Wars helmets, and as I do, it sparked more of an interest in me now lately to get and paint a studio scale X-Wing in this kind of paint. I mean, you can see how, and maybe they just did this, and I don't know if this is the paint job on the model that was filmed, or if they just did it for this cover, but or for this box. But the ship looks exceedingly rusty and dirty, and that's how I remember X-Wings looking from A New Hope. The movie itself, because of its production values, were the pictures and the shots, as good as they were, were definitely suffering from that a bit. But yeah, just interesting color scheme, and I don't know is this. Can I see clearly enough on there to take my glasses off as an old man? This is not Luke's X-Wing. Well, might be, but it's not Red 5. There's only two, you can't really see, but there's only two lines visible back there. So this is Red 2 being shot at. So it's not even Luke. Go figure. But yeah, so I had for a number of years in my mind's eye, I wanted to make an X-Wing model that resembled the cover of this, because that's how I had it in my head. So anyway, this is just a cool, quick little look at Star Wars Lunchbox. I had more when I was growing up. I had not Star Wars though. I had an Empire Strikes Back one. There was two different ones that I had in that. I think they were starting to introduce plastic lunchboxes at that time when Empire came out, and I don't think I had one for Jedi because I was 13 at that point, 14, and you were buying your lunch in the school line. You weren't bringing your own your lunch in a lunchbox at 14 in junior high or high school. That wasn't happening. You could have, but yeah. So anyway, not much tonight. Just kind of talking about this a little bit. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you have something like this that's cool, feel free to share, and always like and comment, subscribe and all that stuff. Keep it civil, and talk to you later.